Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to This Just In. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to give you an update on the Ipoe and the Sofi merger. The merger is set to complete on the 28th of this month. They also just reported earnings, so I wanted to give you my thoughts on where I see it going, as well as my Sofi stock price prediction for the end of 2021. So let's jump right in. Alright guys, before we get started today, subscribe to the channel for me, hit that little bell so you get notified every time I post. There's also a link down in the description to my Patreon account. Come over and join the family. We've got an awesome community over there. You'll get access to the private Discord where we talk stocks. You'll get links to 5 different portfolios so you can see what I invest into. And then anytime I buy or sell a stock, up to the second I do it, I send that out so you can follow along. So if that's something you're interested in, guys, if you want to, really be part of the family, grow the channel with us, come over. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, I would love to talk with you. So check it out. But guys, let's get started. So for those of you guys that are new here, Ipoe is definitely one of my favorite stocks. One of my biggest holdings. I think it is going to do very, very well. For those of you guys that own the stock, the merger is going to complete on the 28th of this month. So make sure you go and vote on it. Guys, I've made a lot of other videos where I go much further in depth on like the services that they offer and the company as a whole. I will link that right here above so you can go check that out if you want to. Today we are just going to focus on the Q1 earnings as well as some guidance moving forward. We'll check out the stock chart and then I'll give you my Sofi stock price prediction for the end of the year. So let's get started. So guys, as you can see here, this is their Q1 2021 results up against the guidance that they provided. So as you can see here, in adjusted net revenue, they did $216 million, but they only guided for 190 to 195 million. So they'd had a really nice beat there of about $22 million, even though there was a $5 million corporate interest expense from the Galileo note that they paid in February. That's a one-time thing, normally not supposed to be there or traditionally wouldn't be there. So they actually ended up beating it by $5 million, really more than what they guided on, which is huge. Now, the adjusted EBITDA, they did 4.1 million. Guys, this is huge. Look at the guidance. They were guiding to do -5 million or -1 million. That is huge, guys. Like I've said in multiple other videos, any of these growth stocks that post guidance and miss, they're going to get punished. They told us they were going to lose money and they made money. That's huge. I love to see that. Now let's take a look at some of the reasons what made them beat it and do so well. So this is their members, guys. As you can see, 7 consecutive quarters of accelerating their year-over-year growth in their total members. So currently they are sitting at 2.2 million members and are on track to do over 3 million members by the end of 2021. That's huge. Look at these growth rates down here. This growth rate of Q1 was 110% year over year. But they're just compounding. They're just growing. They're doing a lot of marketing. They pay a lot of money to deck out one of those football stadiums. I think it's the Chargers Stadium, with all of their logos. Guys, they are really focused on the younger demographic, the millennials, the Gen Zs, because banking really hasn't changed over the course of a lot of years. And what their main goal is to put as many of those banking services in one place that they possibly can so that you don't have to jump from app to app to app. That's huge for younger people. Anytime that they can, invest in stocks, look at their auto loan, pay their house off, use their debit card in one place, they will do that. Guys, I downloaded the app so I could check it out and kind of get the full experience. If I'm going to invest in it, I want to check it out. I want to see how well it works. And it works really nice. I like the app. I bought a couple of stocks just to mess around, and it was really easy. I mean, obviously it's not a it's not a trading platform, right? There's not a bunch of crazy charting and stuff like that. But overall, it's a great app. If they can continue to grow members like this, that's going to be huge. Guys, the big thing here is each new member is a potential to use multiple different products. They're growing their multi-product customers by a large margin every single year. The more products that they can get each customer to use, the more sticky that customer becomes. So I really like to see member growth like that. And the fact that they beat on their guidance just shows that their members are obviously using more and more of their products. Second thing I wanted to show you guys is Galileo accounts. Galileo is that banking as a service company that they partnered with that offers the API to other fintech companies. As you can see here, they did 100% year-over-year growth for the last 3 quarters. They hit over 50 million in Q3 of 2020, and they are currently at 70 million total accounts in this last quarter. Guys, that's huge. Galileo, essentially what they do is they offer an API for banking as a service. Most fintech companies, I would say, especially emerging fintech companies, they rely on platforms like Galileo, if not Galileo, because it allows them to offer services that like a traditional bank would be able to offer without having to have the same like licensing and the same requirements that a brick and mortar bank has that costs a lot of money and a lot of time to get. Guys, Galileo dominates the banking as a service industry. This partnership was perfect for SoFi and is going to create a really big moat, and it's going to make a hard barrier to entry for a lot of SoFi's competitors. I am super bullish on this aspect of SoFi. I think it's going to help them tremendously because listen to this, 90% of all digital banks in North America use Galileo, and 70% of the top fintech companies use Galileo as well, like Robinhood and Revolt. And so guys, they can really cross-sell to each other and bring up the bottom line tremendously and the top line for both companies. So not only can Galileo market to 3 million customers that SoFi has, but then SoFi, really where the benefit comes, is offering their services to the 70 million clients that Galileo has. Altogether, it would help SoFi grow multi-use customers, multi-product customers, and drastically increase the lifetime value of each one of those customers, in a big way. I want to say it's like 80% that it increases their cross-buy margin, making that partnership. So that is huge. Last thing I wanted to show you guys is the guidance. What are they going to do moving forward, and what can we expect? As you can see here, guys, they are guiding to do almost $1 billion in 2021 at 980 million in adjusted net revenue. That would be 58% year-over-year growth. Now, the EBITDA is around 27 million, which is only 3% year-over-year growth, but still, nonetheless, that's profitable. They are getting profitable, very quickly, and this does not even include the bank charter. The contribution profit will also be 266 million, which is 27% year over year. Now, this is just for 2021. Let's look at the guidance till 2025. Guys, this is from the investor presentation, clear back from my original video I made on SoFi. You can see right here, 980 million. I actually think they will do more than $1 billion this year because these numbers do not include that bank charter. That bank charter is huge for SoFi. What the bank charter does is essentially allows SoFi to take deposits from customers and then use that customers to make loans like car loans, auto loans, home loans, just like a traditional bank does, without having to have the brick and mortar location like a bank has. That's how banks make money, guys, is they take your money and then they go do loans with it and charge people interest on money they don't even have. So that is huge for SoFi's top and bottom end. As you can see here, though, 1.5 billion by the end of 2022, all the way up to 3.6 billion by 2025. That is huge. Now, as far as the EBITDA goes, you can see here they're guiding to do 27 million total this year, but look at next year, $254 million in adjusted EBITDA in 2022. And 1.17 billion in 2025 to the bottom line, to the EBITDA. Guys, free cash flow, net profit, is huge in these growth stocks. They just had 3 consecutive quarters of positive EBITDA. So they reached profitability really quickly. And again, this doesn't even include the bank charter. So with all of this being said, guys, I think SoFi has a lot of room to grow. I think they will come out and consistently hit these guidance. And if they do that, the stock price will be awarded handsomely. I want to give you an idea of where I think the stock will go. I went and did some numbers. I broke down some ratios based off my price to sales ratio. By the end of 2021, I put a price target of $29.36. By the end of the year, which I think is very reasonable, considering how back on February 1st they did $28.26 at their high. So it's not that much higher than what they've already been. They may even be able to do more than that. We'll just have to wait and see. But even from where it's at today, at the $18.78, that's about 60% upside in your stock price. You can see that the last 5-6 days they have been doing very, very well. You can see came out, word of the merger, boom, straight up, pulled back a little bit, straight up, straight down, straight up, and straight down. Ever since about the beginning of March, it's been kind of trading in this range. Right at the beginning of March, though, you can see right here it came down and retested this area that it hadn't touched since December 28th. That was previously acting as resistance, and used it as support and popped right back up to get back inside this little channel area here. And it stayed inside that channel area for quite some time now. I mean, March 5th to, May 13th. But ever since then, I mean, you can see it was pretty much in this like falling wedge pattern right here. It has since broken out and gotten above the moving averages. That is really nice to see. Most of these growth stocks we've been looking at the charts on, none of them are above the moving averages. They're all below them. They've constantly been in a downtrend, and SoFi has had a very nice last 4, 5, 6 days. You can see here, broke out and then gapped up above this demand area, gapped up above it again. What I would like to see is it come up, come back, retest, come up, break through these levels, continue to retest and continue to advance. You can see here, I mean, we're getting higher momentum than we've had since clear back in January. And so the stock is performing pretty well for current market conditions. We've seen some consistent green days. We've seen some nice gaps. I mean, it's getting momentum. It's getting pushed up. That earnings report, I think, definitely will help this stock price. It'll give people a lot of confidence in them. And once you get up here around this area, these are pretty critical levels here where it's been gapping over. Once it can break through this, you'll head on all the way back up towards high 20s, mid 20s. This area right here, though, around the $20 to $21 range, will be probably the hardest area to break through, in my opinion. Once the merger does complete, I actually don't think you'll see as much dilution as you do with a lot of the other SPACs. You will see dilution, but I don't think you'll see as much downward pressure. I think you'll see it trade sideways for a few days or come back down and retest these levels. But overall, once the ticker symbol changes, I think you'll be fine and you'll continue to advance. Guys, it gets above, it stays above these moving averages here. You can see it almost was a little bit of a dragon pattern right here. Here's the head. Here's the front leg, here's the back, the hump right here, here's the back leg, and here's the tail. Based on, harmonic levels, you'd have to map it out and see what the target area is, but I would imagine it's somewhere around this level here. Guys, overall, I think SoFi is going to continue to do well. I mean, we've got, nice levels on the RSI. I mean, after these 3 massive days here, it's not even really showing that oversold. It's still got some ways to go. Guys, the $29 price target I gave you, I think is very, very obtainable. Obviously you want to wait and see if it'll pull back a little bit and give you a little bit of a better price. See if we can, keep it in this area, or at least confirm that it's going to keep advancing. But overall, $18 is not a bad price, especially if you plan to hold it for the next 2, 3, 4 years. I plan on holding it for a long time. I have brought my average cost down. I did add some, back around like, I want to say it was like $14, $13. I couldn't believe it got down that low. But guys, this is not like some of these other growth stocks that we look at that are losing a ton of money. There's not even close to a positive EBITDA. Growing revenue, sure, but not like these guys are. They've got a lot of good things coming. The bank charter, the Galileo, merger partnership is super positive. Guys, overall, I love it. I love it. You know, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think this stock will have no problem in the next few years. You know, as long as you can be patient, you know, hang on to it, buy the dips, you know, on any sign of weakness, I have no problem adding, and I think you will be rewarded. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you've got a price target on this stock, I would love to hear it. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed stockbroker. Always do your own research and due diligence. Don't just take my word for it. Come join us at the Patreon. We would love to have you be part of the family, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful weekend. Peace.